as I make my way. The fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot. We should ride together.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side Ho, where they know my name.
We are the nation of domination. Nation of domination.
Oh yeah, what up, Fantasy Football Hustler, back at you. Got another episode of Fantasy News today. We're only doing it Wednesday and Fridays until about August, so this is a little crazy. We're, hey, what's up, Noble? And I just made it back to San Diego after a day. What's up, Noble?
What's going on, everyone? Hashtag Tyrant Gang, Fantasy Nation. What's up, everyone?
In the building, yeah.
That's you.
Hey, don't put me in a headlock.
Hi, Bogard.
What's up, big dog? I see you working on your wrestling techniques.
Yep.
I feel left out without my daughter here. No,
Remember when the referee's not looking, you got to give him an elbow in the gut. Let him know that.
What's up, people?
Yeah, what's up, Peeps? What's up, Ronald?
What's up, Ronald?
Yeah.
Hey, Trey.
Who else we got in here? Song in the building. What up, bro? Yeah, the IU jersey is already in the mail.
Yeah.
And Ronald said you just cannot expect potheads to be punctual. That would just be silly.
Hey, listen, man. I still forget that it's at 2:05, so I show up on time actually, because I'm usually like, I'm late. It's 2:01.
I think 2022 is when I'm gonna start remembering to tell people we're starting 10 or 15 minutes earlier than we actually start.
smart. Do that for everything. I'm just like.
Yeah, plus, I mean, I feel like we've been away for a while, so I was excited to do the show because, we got a lot to unpack.
Seems like forever. What up, Antonio? And Antonio said, what up, little hustler? Put the sleeper hold on him like in Big Daddy. I know, man. He's all about the headlocks, man. Just like out of nowhere, he'll just like jump off the bed and like try to put me in a headlock.
Hey, that's a good move. The flying headlock, bro. It's never been done.
There we go. Innovator.
You feel me?
There we go. Devin in the building. What up, bro? And yeah, Ronald said, I know, right? 2 days going through withdrawals. Yeah, we're going to, over this next month or so while I'm moving, it's going to be a little bit rough here and there, but yeah, we're going to be bringing you all the info.
We're going real quick off the rails because it's an exciting time. Like you're about to move. I'm about to move. I'm just excited, man. Life is good. I like change. Change is good.
Hell yeah.
So you're moving to Vegas, Bogey. Where you moving to?
I'm just moving up to. I'm moving out of the Bay for the first time in history. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm moving up to like Sacramento area. You know what I mean? It's a little place called Elk Grove and shit. Cause we already got a cribbo that we're renting out. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm finna get one and move the fam in there. You know what I mean? And just boom, switch everything up on these motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Good idea.
Yeah. I mean, like, we can survive out here, but like when you want to live, you might have to go out of range a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I love the Bay. The Bay is home. You know what I mean? All my family's out here, scattered all over the place. But also a lot of my family's migrating out that way. So it's just, you know what I mean?
A lot of people.
Hey, the earth is my turf, bro.
Same things happen in Portland too. People get priced out, and like you got to move out, fucking west or south.
And like that's like my mission is to own as many properties as possible. That's like my shtick right now. And what's funny is I know that's what it always was, but like, I found my way coming back full circle now, back to the original plan. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yes, and then I don't know if you guys are aware, but the earth is my turf.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to some of this news and actually a little bit of a fallout. So, I mean, we weren't here on Monday or Tuesday to talk about it, but Odell Beckham, torn ACL in the Super Bowl. I mean, this guy cannot buy a break. Got the touchdown, though, got the big catch, so definitely helped him win a little bit. And the biggest thing was the outcry from all the players. We already know that the players don't like turf. We see a lot of non-contact injuries, but there was just a lot of players. I mean, they need to just boycott it. They need to boycott like the turf fields or something, like somehow.
I mean, it just sucks because you never know. You get stuck. Like, you plant that leg and it sticks. I forget what the term is because, forgive me. I know there's a term out there that actual football players know, but you know what I mean? You get stuck in that motherfucker and then somebody hits you, bro. And like, you just spin all the way around in the ACL. Or in this case, Odell was about to make a cut, non-contact. You know what I mean?
And that's usually how I mean, a lot of these non-contact like I know we see a lot from players getting hit, but we're seeing way too many from non-contact. And it's usually
Kittle was injured because of it, and now we got Nick Bosa and George Kittle who've shared the petition to ban artificial turf.
Well, because y'all remember 2020, week 3, 2020, Niners are back-to-back.
David.
Yeah, what up, David? Niners were back-to-back playing both New York teams. We played the Giants, then we played the Jets.
Exactly.
And that Jets game, we lost everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody died. Everybody. No, and listen, the week 3 was the Jets game. Everybody died. And it was funny because, like, I remember Nick Mullins. He's probably excited because he was starting the next week. And then, we go out, we beat the Giants. And then he asked Nick Mullins, he said, so how was the turf? You know what I mean? Because I guess they had reseeded the turf or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was a big old issue about it, and everyone just torn their ACLs the week before. And then Nick Mullins said, "No, I thought it was great."
Oh man.
But he was probably just saying that because, like, he's like, "Fuck that, I'm trying to ball."
There was another. I forgot who it was, but there was a team that came the next week, and the same shit happened to them. I forgot who it was, but like another team came in the next week to play same place. I think it was against the Giants, and
it was. There you go. Antonio's all over it. And Antonio's Jets fans. He's all he lives where the Jets play. So they said, didn't they play?
You acted like you insulted him. Like, oh, he's not. He just lives where the Jets play.
Yeah, I'm fucking around. And I said, didn't they play the Jets and the Giants back to back in the second game? Nobody wanted to play. Exactly.
Yeah. But then after that, there was another team that wasn't the Niners that came in, and then they got injured too. It's just, I mean, this has been a problem for years. I think that it's something we need to address. You got players spearheading, protests against it, about it now. It's like, we have to. It has to be a conversation at least.
What up, Sir Bongs a lot? And so Ronald asked, "Are you supposed to be able to run faster on turf?" I mean, I feel like because has it been proved or anything? I mean, it seems logical that just because it's not a bunch of big grass slowing you down.
How about this? There's a study out there, Blake. Shout out to Blake. The guy who did this study was on Blake's show a long time ago. But he did a study on Barry Sanders and like how he ran on turf his career and how the numbers were still good off turf, but like the explosive house call plays were like, they're pretty much like exclusively on turf. You know what I mean? Like, those ones where like you see him run 70 yards and shit, juking everybody all over the place. You know what I mean? Like, so there might be something to it. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I mean, I know I'm slaughtering the study that the dude did, but it was fascinating because this has always been a thing. Even people say when you go play on the flip side. So on the flip side, when you go play in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? They historically have long ass brass, and that shit be hella sticky. You know what I mean? Like cleats be sticking to the motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout
That's
out to Lisa, new YouTube member. Appreciate you in the 420 hype crew. Oh yeah. Smoking it up to you right now.
Yeah.
Hey, what up, Hess? Hess in the building. And yeah, Sir Bong's a lot doubling it up with the smoke. Yeah. And Ronald said you also don't get mud on the turf. I mean, that's really what the turf is it's supposed to be perfect conditions. You know, you don't have to cut it. You don't have to, there's no mud, there's going to be nothing. It's never going to flood, all that kind of shit. But
I want to say something.
Well, real quick though, I do want to say I was looking at the statistics here. So I can't talk. Statistics, Jesus, here and back. There's actually really no difference they're saying between turf and grass as far as average 40 times, things like that. There's a negligible difference, if any difference. Sometimes the turf is faster, sometimes field is faster. So it's the
greatest show on turf.
Is that why? Is that why they just won't get rid of it? Because like we've had a greatest show on turf, and we got to have a new greatest show on turf. And yeah, Sir Bong's not even said it. Turf's is hard on the joints. Yeah, like that's like real shit.
I'm gonna say something. We're gonna come to a point where all of it is turf, bruh, and all of it's indoors, if not semi-indoor, like at the LA Stadium, where it's like
What about like the Cardinals? The Cardinals are pretty innovative, because they have the indoor stadium, but they're the floor moves and they put the grass underneath the sun and shit.
Yeah. I mean, well, look at this though. I've been to Arizona several times.
Yeah, okay. Speaking of joints, let's light them up.
I've been to Arizona several times, and I'll be the first to tell you, bro, you gotta grow the grass indoors because that shit ain't growing outside, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's
so fucking hot.
They're so happy to have grass. They're like, fuck the turf. We never even can have grass.
I feel like you have to be watering your grass like almost all day or that shit's just going to burn. Because like, man, in the summertime when it's like 120, 115, like when it's like cool, like, oh man, that shit's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy living there. I had a friend that lived down near Tucson, and she was saying like, yeah, you got to get up at like 4 a.m. just to go out and do all your chores outside and till the garden and shit, and you get back in before 7, or else you're going to toast your ass up. It's fucking crazy living. I couldn't do it.
I'll be high as a motherfucking, like, I'll be like examining shit. And when I remember one of the first times I was out there in Arizona, I was in Maricopa. And then I remember we were out in Phoenix. So now I was seeing hella people. I'm like, okay, here's where all the people are, right? And like, I was just baffled by how much nobody had a tan. And I'm like, that's right. Can't nobody want to stay outside here. You know what I mean?
Hell no. I saw this picture on social media. And it was like, you guys say it's hot where you live. Look where I live in Arizona. And I forget what city it was. But it was like the paint, the paint on a car melting. It's like literally just sitting there chilling. The plastic, like recycling bin that you put out, with your recycling shit, literally melted all the way through to where there was a fat ass hole. There was one where a dude was walking in like sandals, and like the sandals were like
they lit on fire.
They didn't light on fire, but they're literally like sticking and melting to the ground to where like his shoe is one with the concrete, like connecting to it. Oh yeah, check this out, Bogard. Song's back on. He said, "I'm about to spark one up. Let's get it."
Yeah.
He's been inspired. He said remember he was on the show and Bogard's like, man, what are you doing, man? What you on right now for the Super Bowl? And he's like, oh, nothing, man. I'm clean. And he told me, he said his daughter was cracking up like so much like behind him when she heard him say that. We all had a good laugh out of that one. That show was hilarious. We were all high as hell.
You know what's funny though is because that's just like, that's like, if I'm hollering at you, I'm like, hey, yo, what you want? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what you doing, basically? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess, like, when it's being delivered from Bogard, it's going to be synonymous with, designer drug references, I guess.
Yeah. And dang it. Facebook user said, make it shareable. So you got to, if you could go to @FF Hustler or just search Fantasy Football Hustler on Facebook, it's shareable there, but you're probably watching this in our big Facebook group, and it's not shareable directly from in the group. So just go to facebook.com/FF Hustler or just search Fantasy Football Hustler and look for the actual page. You can share it from there. And I appreciate the shares. We really do. All right. Another piece. And Stu's in here, and he said, how about them cheerleaders? We're going to get to that one next. We're getting to that one next.
It's funny.
It was Stu that said make it shareable. Bro, share it from YouTube or just go to my personal page or go to the Hustler, like the business page or whatever the fuck you call it. That's shareable from there. And here we go. Okay, so before we get into the Cowboys, because we're saving that one, we're getting into the Vikings hiring of a head coach, Kevin O'Connell. So they said it was for his strong leader skills and he's an excellent communicator. So he's from Carlsbad.
I didn't hear none of that. I heard because he was with Sean McVay.
Well, that's really what it is. So he's from Carlsbad, California. So super dope. Native to like San Diego County. He was a QB at San Diego State. Only played 4 years in the NFL. But yeah, his claim to fame being that Rams OC in 2020 and 2021.
I mean,
when he
a team that wins the Super Bowl, it's inevitable. I mean, of course you're going to get that kind of attention. There's definitely some good offensive pieces there in Minnesota for him to work with Justin Jefferson. You got KJ Osborne coming up, of course. Dalvin Cook. Him bringing an offensive mind.
He's going to use both those running backs
to really help.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Dalvin Cook, and this is probably going to help Dalvin Cook. He'd probably be more like a 75% timeshare guy. And then you're going to have maybe even 70. And you're going to have maybe even 65 for all we know. Because
they need to reduce his volume and hope that his efficiency
and they have
comes
Madison.
Up.
So that's another thing, too, is what do they do with Madison? Because I think he's up. I mean, I know his rookie year was 2019. And he wasn't no first or second round pick. So they got to figure out a way to keep him. Because if not, they're going to bring in Sony Michel or a Darrell Henderson, somebody that's already that knows the system. Maybe Samaje Perine that comes off from the Bengals because, you know what I'm saying, obviously the Zach Taylor and correlation, the same system. You know what I mean? Like that. This is what happens. You know what I mean? Like,
He gets hurt too much. Like, we don't want to see that shit. Like, we already know his value's dropping. I mean, in Dynasty, he might not even be a first rounder if you're doing super flex right now. But for redraft, I feel like he's like an end of the first round. He might even be in the second round somewhere in the early second round. Right at the turn.
If you're in a 12-team single QB home league, somebody's grabbing Josh Allen. Somebody's grabbing maybe Patrick Mahomes. Like those guys are going in the first round. You know what I mean? Like I hate leagues like that. I'm glad at least my home leagues, my single QB home leagues, we only got one guy like that. And he has Patrick Mahomes every year.
And you know what? I don't care what anybody says. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, I mean, they're just way less risky in that spot, and they're going to be top point scorers.
Madison's got another year on his contract, so I think that he'll be all right.
Okay. There it is.
So I think that's something I was already at least considering, for fantasy purposes. That he's going to be cutting in, he's going to be getting more work. But you're right, with O'Connell in there now, I can see that kind of system like what they were doing with the Rams. Subbing in and out, kind of similar to what the Niners do too. It's kind of like
for sure.
Thing.
Hey, it works, and
it works exactly. Look who was in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, and if you look at the skeleton over there. What Minnesota's offense is, the main skeleton is you have Corky Kirk under center, who has played under center because he came from the Shanahan offense in Washington and the McVay offense under Kirk. I mean, he had Kirk Cousins throwing for 5,000 damn near 3 years straight. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now he's with Kirk Cousins, who just played the last couple years in the Kubiak system, which is the same shit. You know what I mean? A lot of outside and inside zones. Everything's off the play action. And look, now instead of Cooper Kupp, you got Double J. Like, right. I think Double J is my favorite. Like, he's my favorite. He's top 3. Would you say that he's top 3, right? Drafted in redraft.
You talking about in redraft?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to be up there because a lot of these top guys are going to be dropping down a little bit, but
at wide receiver at least.
Yeah, if we're talking dynasty, because redraft's a ways away, a lot of things is going to be affecting that. But for dynasty, I feel like it's him and Chase at like, you know, 1A, 1B for your dynasty wide receiver.
I'll still take Chase because the quarterback tandem is in place because, you know, the Kirk Cousins thing might only be a year. You know what I mean? But then it could also be Desean Watson.
Hey, no spoilers. No spoilers. You guys are just going to have to wait and hear. You guys are just going to have to watch and hear about that in a little bit. But so we like that. I mean, we need the Vikings, at least for fantasy football. We need their offense to get turned up again. So a guy like Kevin O'Connell, 36 years old, working with Sean McVay.
Hey, well, hold on.
This guy's supposed to be an offensive genius, you know, too.
Here's the thing. That offense, it's just because Corky Kirk's so boring. When people think of him, they don't think of pizzazz and flash. But he's going for over 4,000 religiously.
In the job,
you know what I mean? Just in 2020, he had a career year, 36 tugs. That's ridiculous. I know he dropped.
I'm not even talking about Kirk because in a one QB league, a lot of people aren't really fucking with him anyways. Super flex. I mean, we already know we love him as a QB2, you know, for super flex. But Dalvin Cook, I mean, I just say more or less been disappointing, not living up to the draft capital over the last couple years. Adam Thielen, maybe on the bubble, you know, because last year he did really good got like 14 touchdowns, and everyone was like, oh, he sucked, but everyone who drafted him late in like the 5th or 6th round
every
loved
time
it.
He catches the ball, it's a touchdown, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He was very good last year. And I think that, you know, we're just going to see more of the same, but more of the same. I think, you know, coming up. And to your point, I think Dalvin Cook slips down to the bottom of the first round range, not just because of you know, Madison maybe getting some more work in there, but also, you know, he's got the injury tag, you know, not quite there, but maybe
he's gotten hurt when it hurts you the most. Like when you get hurt in the playoffs, there is a bunch of people who drafted Cook last year that are like, I don't give a fuck when he's there in the first, I'm not going to take him, you know. And it's like the bigger that pool gets of people, because every year if he burns someone, you know, like just one of those things, you just fall farther and farther.
Why
he falls. I think CMC falls. I think
that's why I gotta play in like 20-something leagues every year, for real, because not only does it increase your chances of winning, but like you get to diversify and you get desensitized, because like some people will go back to the well because they love Dalvin Cook. They're like, man, he took me to a couple titles. You know what I mean? They just keep going back to the well. People might feel like that about CMC. There's other people that just outright feel burned. Like, I'll never fuck with him ever again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going RB heavy and he falls to me in round 2, I'll take him.
Definitely.
Like if I'm at the back end, you know, I'm like, you know, Big 10 or something on a back-to-back or something, you know, something like that. Sure.
Yep.
I just, you know, what's crazy is I think the value of the running backs in redraft this year, we're going to see a lot of them. Like we're going to see the first round have hella receivers and some QBs. It's not going to be like majority running backs. You know what I mean?
It's going to be good because now running backs, I'm not saying they're the least important position. Like they're really important, but we see that like the drafted running backs aren't really that important because if you got to hit and you're going to miss no matter what, because a lot of these running backs get hurt.
You got right. But you got to hit that top tier, or basically my strategy anyways, you're either hitting the top tier or you're waiting because, you know, you got to build up your wide receivers, get those QBs, get a tight end early. Okay. Then, you know, running backs, you can wait a little bit on and then pick them up.
It's really get Travis Kelce early. That's how I feel about tight end for real. Like it's either Travis Kelce or I'm just going to wait.
Yeah. And I had a grip with Travis Kelce.
Little Matthew or Mandrews. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Albert said people were like that with Mixon also last year. Hell yeah. Like nobody wanted it. Well, not nobody wanted him, but he was a late second rounder if you played in a 1 QB league. If you're in Superflex, he was like third round all day.
I had a 2 out of my 5 championship teams had both Mixon and Montgomery. And I went receiver and tight end early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, because those are my 3rd and 4th round guys. Just 3rd round Mixon and a 4th round Montgomery was like nasty.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right, let's get into some juicy news here for these dumbass Cowboys. So they paid out $2.4 million to a bunch of cheerleaders in some big allegations here. So Richard, I don't even know how to say his last name, but you know what? Hold on. Yeah, we'll just call him Dick D. How about that? So
call him Dirty Dick.
Dirty Dick. He was accused of filming a handful of cheerleaders while they were undressing during the 2015 event at AT&T Stadium. So each woman got paid just shy of $400,000. They called it voyeurism, and apparently, like, he got access to this locker room because he used some kind of security guard, some kind of security card to get in there. So some shit that he wasn't even supposed to have. And before this, he was accused of taking upskirt photo shots of Charlotte Jones Anderson, Jerry Jones's daughter. She's the senior vice president.
What? Is she? Hold on.
This guy's the biggest porky.
I was going to say, how does she look like? I'm like, is this a joke? Or is she actually hot?
Let me see.
I got a cousin. I got a cousin that I'm gonna have holler at her. I got a cousin that needs to marry into the Jones family.
Well, and this guy's old as hell, so she's 55.
God damn. 50. Hey, hold on. I didn't know this dude was old too. So hold on. Hey, this dude's been doing it for a long time then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, you can't be old and all of a sudden you just become a pervert.
Well, you know, yeah.
This guy's been a pervert.
Off to let him do it too,
yeah. This guy's been a pervert. And
well,
he probably
so here she goes. Check it out. That's her. So this isn't the cheerleader. This is Jerry Jones's daughter. And this was the other one who, you know, he's trying to take some digital monkey shots. This guy's a savage.
God damn. Hey, what's the matter?
So, Stu, what the hell's going on? In all seriousness, what the fuck, Rich? We're calling him Dick, okay? His name's not Rich. It's not Richard. It's Dick.
Hey, hold on.
Okay?
He called him Rich. Hey, the way when you read that comment, it sounds like Rich was like a part of the family or something. like he acted like he knew who he was. He's like, listen, man, Rich is a good guy. Nah, Rich is a pervert.
He said one was an accident. The rest didn't happen. He said, how are you going to slide the phone around the door on accident? Yeah, because apparently, I mean, he's creeping in like the back of the locker room. Yeah, literally, like hand around the fucking corner.
This is that white privilege shit right here, man. If a colored person was to do that, bro, it's a rap.
And Stu said, I tap out today. Y'all go ahead and kill me today. Because there's no defending a fucking scumbag like this. Like, what the hell? Like, man, he was trying to get some extra VIP footage or something, you know, for the big what's it called, season ticket holders. That's all that I could think of. Man, and Antonio said he probably forgot to turn the flash off. Also, got caught red-handed.
I mean, the guy's probably listen, bro. There's a special place in hell for motherfuckers like that, bro. Them weirdos, B.
Because especially, I mean, I don't know who any of these cheerleaders are, but you might have been able to get one of them to you know, the right one out of all 50 or however many of them there are. You know that there's some that would do some risque photo shoots and stuff, I'm sure, for the right price.
Yeah, like even if he's a guy doing the audition, you know what I mean? Like, hell, you really want this gig? Like,
holy shit!
Don't start like that.
All I saw was that he was a senior executive. Stu said he was the head of PR too, so did a great job of sweeping that under the table.
See, hold on. This is where the Cowboys just like, this is not America's team, bro. That's like someone who gave themselves their own nickname.
It's a fucking irony right there. He's the head of PR and he's doing that shit.
And Sir Bongsalot said $400K. He can pull a cam out on me anytime.
Hey, listen, man. The Cowboys got off real easy on that one.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
2.4 mil. That's nothing. That's not even against the cap. That's not losing any draft picks.
Listen, man, let this be a lesson. We got to watch these old weird ass crutches, bro. Keep my eye on them, bro. They doing things. Weirdo things.
Weird ass white dudes are not only the creepiest fucks, they're also the ones that rule the world. So there you go.
And Big BS said once camera phones were invented, he was on it. I bet. Yeah, he said guys like that, they don't want legit photos. They only get their jollies off if it's an illegitimate photo. Oh, man, you fucks. Well, there we go. And that's how we got the Cowboys talking there today, Stu, just for you.
His brother was a OB. Did y'all know that?
His brother was an OB. Let's hear it.
No, just fucking around.
And David did some work for a guy. His name was Richard Hecker. And that was in the Navy and gay. Dick Wecker. Dick Wecker, right?
I had a teacher in middle school named Rich Feely. And I actually asked him, like, why don't you go by Dick? And then I got, like, detention. So.
Hey, I had this studio. It was at a private airport, right? And one of the landlord dudes that, like, I guess, like, the building, like the guy we paid the money to. There you go. Right? This guy, his name was Mike Hawk.
Mike Hawk.
Right? And then his brother was Mark Hawk. And like, I mean, the Mark Hawk one wasn't so bad, but Mike Hawk.
Yeah,
so like,
that sounds like a Bart Simpson name when he's calling Moe's Tavern.
Yes, but that's not you would never find that one because that was too risque for Fox.
My son was Michael. I'm shitting you not.
Moe's Tavern. Yeah, hold on. Hey, I'm looking for it. I'm looking for a Hawk. Has anybody seen my Hawk?
All right, let's get back on the rails here. We got to get some Desean Watson talk going because
speaking of Mike talk
of yours is.
So
no,
all this shit's going to be coming to an end real soon. I mean, it's not even criminal charges that he's brought up on. It's these civil lawsuits, and it seems like the farther and farther that they go, the less water that all these that all the witnesses hold or whatever the hell. And so now we're getting back to him talking football because he's going to get traded. He's going to get moved. There's two teams that are heavily on his radar, he said. And that's the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Minnesota Vikings.
Yep.
I like it.
It's either way, it's going to be interesting. I mean, of course, the Buccaneers with Tom Brady probably retiring, although, I don't know. We'll see how that itch feels in a few months. But, he's obviously there's going to be a vacancy there, for the Buccaneers. And we could be seeing Watson fill it. I mean, I could see that happening. And taking, with the players on that team, both on offense and defense, with him at the helm, we've seen what he can do. And, when he puts all this, fucking shit behind him, he's going to be able to come out and be the Desean Watson of old. He's had a year off. He's fresh. He's ready to go. We could see the Bucs, back in Super Bowl contention. As for the Vikings, they've got Cousins right now. But of course, if you're a GM, if you're a coach, and you had a choice between Cousins and Desean Watson, you're going to take Desean Watson. Of course you are. So I can definitely see him working out both places. And right now with everything kind of being put behind him, I can see that deal getting done sooner than later.
Tampa Bay would be dope if he went there. I mean, they wouldn't really skip a beat. I mean, as
they got the money. I wonder what the money's look. I mean, like what the cap. I mean, I guess the cap is going up, and then you lose Brady, who was like $30 million. So yeah, they could probably fit his $40 million contract right away. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty. But see, here's the thing: is like. Tampa Bay, I don't think any of these teams got what the Eagles got. All the picks. Like, I don't know if the Texans just let them go like that for a ham sandwich. You know what I mean? I love these ideas.
I'm not saying that the Eagles don't have more capital, but at the end of the day, Watson holds all the cards in his hands.
You know what I did right when we started the show and the intro was running? I got out of the stream and I went and picked up OJ Howard because he was out there and I've been thinking about him for like 2 days. But I'm like, you know what? Because he's in my debt. Yes, son. I'm like, might as well. You never know. You know what I mean?
You never know. We already talked about how there's going to be a crazy QB carousel this year. We thought last year was crazy. This year is about to be way crazier.
It's going to be a lot of fun. That's why you guys stay tuned to Fancy News. It's the off season, but hey, a lot of shit's going on. You're going to learn some shit right here.
Oh yeah, and
you gonna learn today.
On our next, it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's not determined yet, the time yet, but the next Playmakers episode is going to be about this quarterback carousel preview. You know what I mean? Because they're like, when you really sit and go through every team that has a QB, you know what I mean? Like, there's a whole lot, bro. A whole lot of teams that are in the conversation of getting a new one. You know what I mean? And not in this draft neither. You know what I mean?
Yep. And Ronald said we got 14, 15, and 17. Shit, 3 picks in the top 17. That's a lot of draft capital.
But he don't want to go. He don't want to go to Philly. I don't think.
That was one of the teams that we heard last year, but maybe it was just someone, getting some clickbait, rumor shit going.
But it's also because, wouldn't you think someone's talking to me? If I'm gonna move Desean Watson, I want the world. I don't care about his allegations. If I'm trading him for less than like 3 first rounders, right? Then that means I know something.
Well,
I know there's something that the world don't know yet about his case or something. They're just trying to move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, when the allegations were heavy, they were still asking for the world. So, I mean, now the further he gets away from that, the more they're going to ask for. So, it's definitely got to be a team that has the capital to do it, that has, the picks to do it. And I could see the Eagles doing that too. I mean, that does make sense as well. But yeah, I feel he's also going to have, like Hustler said, Watson's going to be the one that that's calling the shots as far as or at least has enough of a say, enough to be able to sway one way or another.
Well, he has a no trade clause. So.
Exactly. It literally is on him. Like, right. It is his say at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if he says he wants to go to Minnesota or Tampa Bay, they're on the phone already. You know what I mean? Because the new year starts March 16. You know what I mean? And teams got to start getting things in line, because literally, what's 2 weeks from today? The combine. Mm-hmm. Like, this thing don't stop. You know what I mean? And it's about to be the new year in the NFL. So these things are going to happen and happen soon, if I would imagine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, a month from now, March 16th, that's when all the free agency opens and everything. So a lot's going to happen within this next month. And just for some context on Corky Kirk, because we assume if Watson goes over there, it's going to be like an exchange, for them or something.
And there it is. Nature. I think Corky Kirk, I think they would do that. Houston historically is an organization that have done dumbass shit like this. Okay, here's DeAndre Hopkins, and give me a pick and David Johnson in that crazy ass contract.
So Kirk Cousins has a no trade clause as well. So who knows if he's going to want to go to the Texans? And he has the 3rd largest 2022 salary cap, $45 million.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shout out to Corky Kirk. He knows how to get it back. Hey, he knows how to get. Listen, I would kick it with Corky Kirk, bro. I'd be like, listen, bro, how you do that, man?
Yeah, man, his agent's the shit. That's for sure.
And so I think, I mean, more likely, Watson will go to Bucks or someone else. But yeah.
All right, next piece of news here. The Bengals and Zach Taylor agree to a contract extension. He is going to be there through 2026.
I think this is phenomenal.
Deserved.
Because this is just great for Joe Burrow. Continuity with a young QB is very importante. I mean, I'm not saying Mitchell Trubisky could have been any kind of good for real, but I'm saying, though, he went through several, different situations. And you know what I mean? Not only I know he was with Nagy most of the time, but I'm talking about every year he had a different coordinator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's already a dumbass, so that, that wasn't going to work. You know what I'm saying? Alex Smith, not everybody could be Alex Smith, where you go through several coordinators and then you take a beating, but then you get to a point that you link with Andy Reid. And by this point, you're like, a QB genius. You know what I mean? Like your QB IQ is through the roof, so you're able to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Operate this Andy Reid system with ease and get to the playoffs. Like, not everybody's like that. So for someone like Joe Burrow to have, now going into year 4 and then 5 and 6, actually, and what is it till 2026? You said?
Yeah, 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Like, at least they'll be together for, you know what I'm saying? For the to next year when he gets paid. Because they're finna pay. Burrow's one of those guys. He's gonna get extended year 3, no problem.
Oh yeah, and we already know Jamar Chase. He's someone who's at least going to be there those first 4 years, plus a team picking up his team option or whatever. So he's going to be there at least 5 years. Higgins, he was just a rookie last year, so he's going to be there at least.
And he's a second rounder.
Yep. Joe Mixon. I mean, shit. He's
did already paid.
He's
locked in there till 2026. And you know what's crazy?
2024, right?
2024. And what's crazy is Joe Mixon has 2 good years in him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? For what it's worth, he's got hurt a lot in his career, but he don't got that much tread on the tire because of the injuries.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And Tyler Boyd, he's the earliest of all of them. He's an unrestricted free agent in 2024, but he's still there for this season and next season. So, I mean, they got their core guys, together at least until 2023. Core offensive guys, anyways.
It's gonna be crazy in the playoffs at the end of the season. Who's gonna get in? You got the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Bills. Fuck, dude, it's gonna be crazy every fucking year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the NFC is like the NFC. I feel like it's more veteran dons. You know what I mean?
All old peeps in the NFC.
Yeah.
All old.
Yeah.
Rodgers, Wilson.
Lance about to young it up, and then like if we get Watson into the NFC, he'll young it up. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the NFC, it's all the decorated old guys.
And all the young guys are the guys who were like, oh man, those guys fucking suck. I don't want them in fantasy. Your Tuas, your Jalen Hurtses of the world. I know some people want them, but you know what I mean. Most we're not touching those type of guys. Another extension that we got, at least rumors going around about the Derek Carr extension that's supposed to be happening here real soon. It's likely to be, they say, in the 40 mil range per year. I know the cap is going up. Is 40 mil just going to be the average for like your top tier QB on like what's this? His second contract, right?
35 is 37 is like the average right now, right?
I believe so.
It's in that range between like 35, 37. Anywhere from 33 to 37, because some QBs. Yeah, but anyways,
because if you franchise tag a QB, I mean, you're getting up into like the 40 mils, right?
Yeah.
So if you're talking about 40 million being the average, then it belongs to him, an average QB. So that makes sense.
I mean, listen, Kirk Cousins, man, he's average. He's getting that big bag. Hey, look at this. Who are we talking about right now?
Oh, I take Cousins over Carr.
Yeah, we're talking about Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
He should call Corky Kirk up, like, be like, listen, I'm about to get a 2-year thing. How'd you get guaranteed, bro? You know what I mean? Because that's what this extension is probably going to be. It's probably going to be like a 2 to 4 year extension, but I bet you only the first 2 years are legit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that, and what's crazy is Mike McDaniels, he's only 45, bro. Like,
Derek Carr's screwed, man, playing in the same division as Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. Yeah. Like, that's just not a good situation to be a part of.
Nah, not really.
And Lisa shouting out said, oh, cute little baby Bogard. Oh, yeah. She's the good luck charm on this show. She helps everybody win.
Yeah. And she is like baby Bogard because she looks exactly like me. Like my son, he looks exactly like me, but he got his mom's 5 head. You know what I mean? and then my daughters, they look exactly like me, but they also got my girl's like 4 head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What up, Zeb? Hey, hang out for a little bit and just remind me to go back and look at your comment. Just look at the timestamp so you can tell me what it is. Again, I know it's a dynasty trade. We got a little bit more news to cover. We'll get that question in at the end.
Yeah.
All right. Now, some IDP news. So for the Falcons, they released Dante Fowler. He had a fat ass contract. It was March 2020. So I mean, it's been, this is the third year going on to that contract.
Yeah.
But 3-year, 45 mil. He underperformed like crazy on this deal.
Hella hurt too.
Yeah.
Hella hurt. And old regime that gave him that bag, you know what I mean? So he just, finito, arrivederci.
Yep. Nothing really too much there, but that was big time. We'll see if he gets back to the Rams or something like that. I mean, he was killing it.
He probably would. I mean, it's funny because when I was throwing you some things, some ideas for the show sheet, I was thinking about throwing in Von Miller. Like, this Von Miller's performance and with the Rams, every contender is going to be like, yeah, let's try to add Von Miller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, another thing you brought up over there was Aaron Donald, contemplating retirement. Who knows? I mean, the best way to retire is definitely going out on top, no matter what. Just ask John Elway. And right now, I mean, Aaron Donald, no doubt about Hall of Famer with his pedigree and his resume. I mean, he's got to be top 3 or top 4 at the position all time.
For sure. I think
Donald's
in the tank, though. I think Whitworth will probably retire. That makes sense. But Donald, I see him, he's probably got some more left in the tank.
I mean, I think he definitely does. But you know what is crazy is that, when he was asked about it, he did, in the post conference, he was there with his daughter, first of all. And then his daughter's holding confetti. And then she's saying hello to the people. And then they're he's like, yeah, I promised my daughter when she was 5 years old, she'll play in confetti one day, because they had lost when, the last time. You know what I mean? What was that? 4 years ago? 3 years ago? You know what I'm saying? Yep, so he 7 straight all pros. You know what I mean?
10 total. What's he played? 11 or 12 years, and he has 10.
No, not even.
Oh, no, it's 10 Pro Bowls, I think.
2014 only, I think, if I remember correctly. He's only 30 years old.
Let's see.
I mean, he definitely has at least 4 years in him, because it feels like he's never took a step back or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's still super dominant. But
I mean, he could be there another 4 or 5 years for sure.
But I'm wondering
he's turning 31 this year.
Okay.
So he's getting up there in age.
I'd say maybe he has 2 good years in him.
How many?
But here's the thing, though.
Well, when you say 2 good years, do we mean 2 good Aaron Donald, being the most dominant player in football? Good, is that what you mean?
Yeah,
close to it at least.
Yeah,
and then after that he drops off, but him dropping off, he's still a starter, and could definitely be in a few years.
Yeah. Yeah, David, you the man, bro. I'm not even sure what the next giveaway is going to be, but we're definitely doing a giveaway in March for sure. So I'm just going to mark you down and get you the extra entry into whatever giveaway I'm going to do for March.
Here's some.
You're the man, David. You the man. All right, let's see. And Ronald said you're just gonna keep saying that till they react. Stu, yeah, he is. I'm let him keep putting that up there.
Hey, listen, we're not gonna acknowledge it because he's already jinxing it.
But one thing that we do gotta acknowledge. So Stu, I like what you sent me. So Stu sends me a text, and Bogard, that we're talking Kyler Murray right now, and I want you to give the info, at least that about Kyler Murray, but really quick. So Stu sends me a tweet that he saw on the internet. I believe it's a Cardinals beat writer, if I'm not mistaken. And he said Kyler Murray reportedly had a recent meeting with ownership in which he had multiple demands. One of those demands was the Cardinals must land Cowboys CeeDee Lamb through a trade. Murray strongly desires playing with him, a close friend on the same team. Or desires playing with his close friend playing on.
Hey, these youngsters don't even have the stripes yet, and they're demanding shit. That's so crazy. Hey, and you know what? I want to say this. Kyler Murray might have been doomed from the start there, because they hooked him up with a rookie head coach too. That was definitely all hype. It was all sizzle and no steak.
Because that's what sucks if you're, supervisor, whatever, if you feel like you're better than the guy above you calling the shots, you go over his head. Like, that's just what happens.
He said, listen here, motherfucker. He said, I'm Kyler motherfucking Murray. I'm Kyler Ren, goddammit. The new empire. Respect it. Get me. You got me Luke Skywalker. Now get me CD Lamb. You know who he is. Call Jerry.
And what else did you see, Bogart? I mean, I know he removed everything from his social media. We know that.
So he removed everything from the social medias. We covered that last Friday on FNT. And then on Super Bowl, of course, people save things, you know what I'm saying, like, for clickbait. And it was a beat reporter who had like several anonymous locker room accounts that Kyler Murray is disconnected. He's self-centered. He's a me guy. They said in the halftime, he's putting the headphones on and he's just on his phone texting. But see, you know what's crazy about that is like if motherfuckers are winning, they just leave him alone.
Yeah.
Right. And then he's also, and then they talk about they got a bunch of veterans. This is in that statement or in that little article or whatever. It's like a bunch of veterans are going to try to talk to him about his leadership and then they hope they expect it to get resolved and whatnot. And then they said the coach, Cliff Kingsbury, he's going to do some self-scouting to better assist the situation, whatever the fuck how they worded it. It sounded stupid though. And then Kyler Murray responded yesterday. Finally, he said like everybody that knows me knows I go hard and this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? He was like just saying like, listen, I'm a dog. You know what I mean? Like everybody rocks with me, which I don't think is totally true. You know what I mean? And then he posted that the picture was him in the Cardinals game. I mean, obviously, but against the Chicago Bears. You know what I mean? Which was probably his best game, one of his best games of the season. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I mean, it's all about the locker room. Kingsbury, I've been saying it for a while. He didn't seem like it translated. That play calling is just garbage. It's been garbage for the last 2 years.
Yeah. Hey, I got beef with this real quick. How come Deandre Hopkins, bro, Nuke Skywalker balls out with every single QB he's ever been with, and he's played with several. I'm talking about maybe outside of Brock Osweiler. He's balled for fantasy purposes. Then he gets with Desean Watson, balls. And then we get it with Kyler Murray, and in 2 years, you only have about 10 total games, from 2 years that we could say he went crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on with not only the play calling. I would have a problem with this.
You have a lot of talent there. So many mouths to feed. Kyler Murray's actually has.
But there's not that many mouths to feed. You mean Christian Kirk needs to get fed? I don't know. No.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've been saying it for years. He and Christian Kirk have a thing. That's his guy. And plus,
it's not his guy.
They brought in Ertz. They have a lot of weapons, for him to throw to. That was the problem all year in fantasy, is trying to pick which wide receiver Kyler Murray was going to throw to. Now I agree with you that D-Hop has been underutilized, definitely, and the coaching does have a lot to do with that too. But I think that in the end, I can see there's definitely been a clash between Kyler Murray and all the Kingsbury, the head office there. Although the more we see these off-season, QB controversies or QBs, say threatening to leave or they're going to leave, the more we see them somehow stay where they're at. I think they're going to figure it out in the end. I don't know if I see where's Kyler going to go. I don't think it'd be hard for them to work out the contract. I think eventually it'd be a lot easier for everybody, for both sides, to just kind of work it out in-house.
Yeah, and Christian Kirk, Ronald said, isn't Christian Kirk a free agent? Yep, he is a free agent this year.
That's a good point. I was looking at that too. A lot of them are free agents. So maybe, we do see a lot more usage with Nuke Hopkins because of them cutting ties with some of those wide receivers. I think this past season, though, there just were too many mouths to feed, and that has a lot to do with it. But yeah, once you cut those receivers out, if he's still not getting the passes, then there's no excuse other than the coach itself. I think it's a combination of things. I think they need to shake up the coaching there. I think that that Kyler needs to recognize he's got a fucking future Hall of Fame superstar wide receiver that he can throw the ball up to, who can catch the ball no matter who the fuck's around them, and utilize that, and then maybe they can win some playoff games.
Yep. And Facebook user says Kyler to baseball. That would be dope. I mean, it'd be a pay cut that he'd be taking, right away. And also, from being the guy to being, he's definitely not, he's only going to be a star in name right away, but
I want to say something. Fuck Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, right? because this is the game, right? First and foremost, bang, bang. But I love Kyler Murray in fantasy. Now, I'll probably never have this full. He don't got it, bruh. He don't got that, grit in him, bruh. I don't believe it.
I think he's got plenty of talent, but
and
you're right.
And then hold on. I forgot the most important part, bruh. Kyler Murray said he believes that he's being used as a scapegoat for the playoff loss. Playoff loss.
Could
Bro,
be.
you threw a pick six. You set a record in the postseason for the shortest pick six ever, bro.
Yep. Everyone go subscribe to JC Money's YouTube page. Yep, like David said, he's got his the basketball show going on right now, and it's also going on this channel as well. We're going to be done here in a few minutes. Fucking Kyler. All right, but this was my favorite story of the day. Okay, very similar situation. Okay, but we're talking about Marquis Brown here.
Yeah.
So he removed all Ravens shit from all his social media, and apparently he's preparing to retire to be a professional gaming streamer. And it was like a week ago where him and his team won the Streamer Bowl championship of Fortnite. So he's big time in the gaming community, and apparently been building his Twitch audience and all type of shit.
So if making money is the thing, he probably is going to easily make 10, 20 M's a year if he plays his cards right doing the streaming shit.
Because he could get a contract from whatever team he's on. He could get a contract from Twitch, and he's getting paid from Twitch.
And of course, that's going to help as well. He's probably got tons of contacts, lots of sponsors and shit. People I've been seeing it all day. People are like, oh, how are you going to turn down all that money? I mean, yeah, exactly. How are you going to turn down all that money and not do that? Because you're going to make. I mean, even if he makes more per year in the NFL. Eventually, I mean, think about how long you could play video games. He's got a lot more time that he could be doing that and make 10 to 20 million a year for the next 20, 30 years instead of the next 4 or 5. So I totally understand.
Put it over there.
Plus, you don't get injured on playing on the field or.
I was gonna put it on the couch this way.
He's 24 years old. He's turning 25 this year.
Hey, and it's. Speaking on people that don't got it, bro, go play Twitch things, because Marquis Hollywood, you might don't got it.
And maybe his head's just not in the game, because he's winning championships, off the field and other shit, and then he comes back to the Ravens and they're just getting their ass whooped, time and time again. And he really has never had a game like he had his very first game in the NFL. It's literally been all downhill since that first game.
Oh, dude, totally. He's
against Miami. You know why?
Yeah.
Because he was back in South Florida. So was Lamar.
They were burning.
Stomping grounds, bro.
And he roasted. I think it was almost 200 yards in that game. It was 250+ yard touchdowns. Just killed it.
Mm-hmm. And Lamar Jackson was something 21 for 22. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
he barely even threw the ball, but it was just like he killed shit. He like over 300 yards. Like it was just nasty.
Yeah.
Everybody was eating.
Hell yeah. What do you think about that, Bogey? If you had a shot, you think it'd be, oh, is he going in the Matrix? Oh, yep, he's in the Matrix. I mean, Marquis Brown isn't a guy who's going to be warranting like $20 million a year, or anything like that.
No, I mean, yeah, I think a lot of the people that think this is a bad move are people who don't understand how much YouTube gamers can make, especially someone with notoriety, especially someone who already has a following like Marquis Brown because of the NFL. Transitioning that to being a gamer, yeah, I'm sure that'll work out fine. So, I mean, YouTube shit, that's where people are making money. That's where people are getting famous. Look at the fucking Paul brothers. They're fucking garbage, trash, scumbags, and they're fucking making more money than anybody else because they're on YouTube and they're fucking trying to pretend to be boxers, ruining boxing as a sport. And but I think.
So I want you to take a guess. He was drafted in 2019. How much is he set to make from the Ravens this year, if he doesn't get the extension?
Hey, you know what's crazy too? He might got the wrong guidance because Antonio Brown's his big cousin. He's probably like, look, cuz, man, go, what, fuck the Ravens, bro. And you know why he's trying to tell him that? Because then if he retires, guess who's on the phone, bro? Antonio Brown's talking about, hey, listen, my cousin, listen, one for another. It won't even be like you missed anybody.
And I'll keep his jersey number. Then you don't even have to make any new jerseys.
Listen, don't even tell anybody he retired. I'm just gonna pretend I'm him.
But we already heard that he wants to play with Lamar Jackson. We heard him talking about that. Yeah. So this all makes sense. It's all tying into each other.
So are you telling me that Antonio Brown is an evil genius?
He might be.
I like how you thought about it first.
So how much you think he's set?
No fighting, kids.
How much you think Marquis Brown is set to make this year if he doesn't get an extension from the Ravens?
Where you think he goes next year? You said.
No. How much do you think he's set to make this year?
It's
the last year of his contract.
Not 10 million.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Like 3 and some change.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably close. I was gonna say closer to 5, but damn, that's even closer.
Yep. So yeah, that's all he'd be walking away from if he retired this year and didn't play out this year.
A year that he's going to get a big payday off of or anything. I think that he's making a smart move.
And this is all just rumors. We don't know 100%.
There's someone saying that he's going to get it up, and there was all this other shit. But then, I mean, if he's taking his shit down, all the Raven shit down, that speaks a little bit to those rumors. So, if it happens, it could potentially be a good move and better for his health, probably, unless he's not, out working out and he's just like ends up, gaining 100 pounds, fucking playing Fortnite and shit. But
he looks skinny as fuck. Like if you go look on Twitter and you just search his name, you'll see him getting the trophy. Him and his teammates getting the trophy for the shit that they won. He's a twig.
Definitely. But if he's not playing anymore and he's not working out,
it's like me playing football out there.
Is that really his game of choice there? Is that what it is?
I mean, that was just that was one of the ones that he's playing on. I'm sure he plays on a handful of them.
See, that's the thing is, I'm interested. I'll watch his fucking Twitch. I'll see what he's doing, just because I want to know, like, what is it? Just for Ryan, like, what else is he playing?
I think that's just the team that he's on. Like, with the what's it called? I don't know if that's a paid team that he's on or what, but
well, I'm sure
that was just one contest that they won.
Person on that team, and you can use that publicity, that notoriety for
open that door.
Yep.
A successful
Not
youth.
that one.
I can see that. Or
that
Twitch.
One, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
The laundry room door.
All right. Well, we're going to get up out of here, and we'll be back on Friday, so it's going to be Wednesday and Friday. We're not going to have the playmakers tonight, but tomorrow we are going to be back with the Circle. Oh, yeah. 7:20 Eastern, 4:20 Pacific. I'm going to get the link out in a few minutes, actually, and we're going to start sharing it all over social media, so make sure you guys tap in. It is going to be a really dope show.
That's right, everyone. Come watch me get to the showdown just to fucking lose horribly. Every week, folks. Every week.
That's not the spirit.
I'm fucking kidding, man. I'm ready.
We're going to war, Tylo.
We got it. We do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a triple threat, man. Me, you, and someone else, and whoever that someone else is. It could be me, you, and Spencer, dude. That would be another. That was epic last week. Congratulations to Spencer the Guru.
Yeah, hell yeah! Shout out to Spencer.
He took it on home. Got it right at the end. It was the very last take, too. That was really dope right at the end.
Slam dunked it on us.
Yeah.
Well, let's look here, Guru. If you're watching out there, you know I'm coming. I'm coming to take back the throne.
Yeah, and Antonio said the Circle is my favorite. Hell yeah. Help us share it, guys. It's going to be on Facebook. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Twitter and Twitch. So anything you guys could do to help us spread the word, we really appreciate it.
Tyrant Gang, I want you to I'm going to be putting this out later on, all right? I'm going to, last week's episode, share with everyone you know, get hyped up for tomorrow's episode. You know, let everyone know, because even if they're not in the fantasy, if they like just football or sports, or they just want to laugh at a bunch of fucking goofs with weird takes on shit, arguing over nothing, you know, whatever you like, it's there, it's here for you. It's the perfect show. The Circle, fucking share that out. I'm gonna be putting out that link here in a little bit for everyone to share out. But do that, get the hype up for tomorrow's show, and then we'll see you all there.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Go ahead, Bogey. Anything else we got going on the way out?
Just stay tuned. We'll let you know when the next episode of Playmakers looks like. We might do a Saturday midday episode. You know what I mean? I kind of don't want to go a week without it, but I also don't mind taking a quick break. But I will say the next episode is going to be a preview of the QB carousel that is pending in my mind.
Oh yeah, and everyone else's, because man, this is about to be wild. This is about to be a wild QB carousel. Yeah. All right. Last thing is just do me a solid, guys. Go to fantasyfootballhustler.com and go follow me on every platform out there. Especially go hit up the podcast. Go hit up Apple and Spotify and Google Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts, and set it up for the auto downloads. Help me get those numbers up, guys. Appreciate it. And we're out. We'll see you tomorrow for the Circle, and jump over to JC Money Design's basketball show. That's going down.
YouTube Fantasy Tyrant as well. I forgot to say that.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Follow everyone on YouTube. We appreciate it. Peace out.
Yeah. Peace.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
Everyone in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of Eastside Ho, where they know my name.